Tell all the students to join soon.
Okay. So thanks, Shobha. Okay, so guys, I am starting the session now. I am Pranjali Srivastava, and you might have seen my introduction that I have around 13 plus years of experience in IT industry and worked with Cognizant, Accenture, and few startup companies. So right now I am working as a freelancer too, and besides this, I am author, YouTuber, blogger, etc. So let's start with the session topic. I will tell you about my YouTube channel and all at the end if you want the details. So, what is an organization and what is an organizational behavior? So, first of all, what is an organization? So, organization is made up of the people. When we talk about organization, it has a three layers, like individual, and on that the group or the team, and above that that is an organization. So, organization is the club of the different people or the group or the team coming from the different backgrounds, from different cultures, from different educational backgrounds, and the people with different values, ethics, with their own communication skills or the interpersonal
दिवसभर
skills.
खायले सकाळचं दिवसभर दाखवते ते.
So when we talk about the organization, as I say, like different individual builds up an organization or the team or the group. So the or individual like you and me. So somebody is B, somebody is MCA, somebody is from different pharma grounds or something like that. Now, when you come to an organization, when you come from different city, when you come from different home environment, you actually have your own ethics and values. You actually have your own thing. You actually have your own perception to solve any kind of problem. So whenever we come in the organization, we meet with different kinds of people, definitely. And it is not necessary that though I am a, suppose for example, I am a BE student, so my mentality will be same as the other BE student. So there will be difference in the quality, there will be difference in the thinking, there will be difference in the perception, there will be difference in the logics, logical reasoning, and different reasonings between two people, besides or irrespective of the fact that they are educated in the same way or they have the same degree. So that is the thing which makes a organization. That means the different individuals. Now studying about different individuals, because since we are working in an organization, and a successful CEO or a successful company is what, which knows how to please the employees, which knows how to please the individual. Employees is what, they are the resources of the company. They are the only people who make the team. They are the only people who make the groups. They are the only people who complete the project on time. And these are the people which we need to take care if we are the CEO of the company or if we are the company. Because ultimately, an employee satisfaction is much needed. Unless and until an employee or the resources are good at their workplace, there will be no outcome for the organization or for any kind of project which you deliver to the client. So that is the reason the study of the organizational behavior is utmost important, because this is one of the basis, or this is one of the base of the organization to move ahead. Now when we talk about, of the individual, like I'm working on a project, I will give you only the examples, not the bookish thing, but the examples which I have observed in these many years. So we need some motivation also. When I'm working for a project, I need to be get motivated by my manager. If I'm a manager, I need to be motivated by my director, and so on, and the protocol goes in. And I should know wherein I need to take the initiative, wherein I need to take the things, how I can work, how I can go ahead, and I need a guidance of the people. So many of you know that when you join a company, when you join any MNCs or any startup company, you might be knowing that the freshers are given a training. They are trained in that. I mean, if I'm going to put you in the Java project, then I need to give you training on Java for 1 and 1.5 months. and then you will be certified on that, and then you will be put on that particular project or the requirement, or as a shadow resource you will be tagged to some project in the company. Why? Because I need to improve your skills. Whatever you have learned in your curriculum is totally different. I myself is an MCA student, and whatever I have learned during my 3 years of curriculum, it was totally different with what I have worked, because it is just theoretical. It was just I need to read it and I have to write the answer, but practically the things are totally different in the organization. So when we talk about OB, organizational behavior, the next thing comes is that the toolbox. There are different organizational behavior toolbox. Toolbox is nothing but it is just being the analysis of the people and the organization. So first thing is like skill survival kit. What is this skill survival kit? As I said, to be in the organization, you need to be fully skilled. If you are not fully skilled, at least half skilled you should know. And if you're not at all half skilled also, then you should be a great learner. Because definitely, when we talk about the time, when during my time there were projects in C# or .NET or VB.NET. We don't have this, current time demands Python, ROR, and different data science, artificial intelligence. So many changes have come. Selenium has come, automation has upgraded now. Nobody uses QTP. So what is that? Your skill upgradation, which is what is required. So this is skill survival kit. So being in an organization, you have to, if you want to survive there, and if you want to continue in that environment, if you want to continue for that particular organization for many years, then you have to improve your skill set on not on daily basis, but yes, of course, in 6 months you have to brush up your skills, as well as you have to upgrade it. So this is, which is something very important to keep yourself updated, as well as to get the promotion or the hike. Or not only this, your personal benefit are also there, but also your knowledge benefits are there. If you have knowledge, definitely you will be given more weightage in the team, and you will be given with a good work to do, not like the manual Excel sheet work to be given to you. So this is one thing. Then, as I said, like keep your skill fresh. So you have to know that if there is, suppose for example, like Upgrade or Udemy, many other apps are there, or applications and websites are there which are giving you certificates and courses. You can go and you can have the certification, and you can practice it at home. So you have to keep your skill set always fresh and refreshing. Then you have to master something. See, there is nothing like you should know everything. Master of all and jack of none is something, the worst thing which a person have. You should not know everything, but whatever you know, you should be master in that. So at least one skill should be there. You have to keep it so intact, so firm in that even if after 10 years somebody going to ask you about the Java or the .NET questions or the C# questions, you are thorough with that you can even answer after 10 years, because you never know what the client is, where the client is coming from, which country, and what are the legacy system they want to change it, or anything they wanted to change it. So you should be master in at least 1 or 2 skills, and rest of the skills you have to refresh. And for the it means that you should be flexible enough. You don't have to change your skill set, but you have to be flexible enough to the adaptability. Like we have heard that Charles Darwin theory, the theory of adaptability and sustainability and survival of the fittest. If you're fit, then only you can survive, otherwise not. So I'm not asking, or we are not saying that you have to be 100% fit, but yes, you should know that particular skill which is in the demand of the time. If you're a developer, definitely you know some development skills. If you're a tester, you should know the automation skills, or something new comes in the automation. That is what is that. Now the second tool is journalizing self. Journalism is what? You are writing the points. You are telling to the world, these are the things, this needs to be taken care of, or the politicians are not taking care of these things, blah blah blah. But journalizing self is like you have to write daily, or once in a while, once in a week, that what are your loopholes, why you can't work on certain environment, or what are the things you need to improve on yourself, whether your behavior needs to be improved, whether your knowledge needs to be improved, whether your connection with the teammates should be improved, whether your connection with the management needs to be improved. So journalizing yourself is like you need to validate, you need to throw a light on yourself where you are going back. So this is the journalizing tool. Now we have different research models. This is the third point which I am going to talk on. I just want to ask, is there any question till now if anybody wants to ask for OB, or it's clear? So no questions. Okay. So we have different OB research models. There are OB models also, and there are OB research models also. So first let's cover up the OB models. What are the OB models? They are of 5 types. That is autocratic, custodial, supportive, collegial, and related to system. Now I can come to it one by one. Autocratic is like the formal management. It is something
Pranjit,
like there is a team leader.
Just
Yeah.
a minute.
Yeah.
Student, if you want to ask something, please be uh, there to ask the questions. Use your mind if you want to ask something. और वो भी आपके जैसे एक MCA करके और काफी अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस बड़े बड़े कंपनी में करके आई हुई है. आप उससे कुछ पूछ सकते हैं और she will share about his experience related to the industry also. है ना प्रांजलि?
that is absolutely fine. और अगर आपको लगता है मैं हिंदी में बोलूं तो हिंदी में भी बोल दूंगी. No issues with that. If you have any understanding.
आपको हाँ जो अच्छा लगे वैसे आप पूछ सकते हैं. आप उसको बीच में कुछ क्वेश्चंस है तो आप पूछ सकते हैं. ओके, लेकिन बस हाँ ध्यान रखो कि आपको कुछ नॉलेज होना चाहिए, इससे मिलना चाहिए इस सेशन से कुछ.
Okay, and if you shy to ask question me now, then no problem. आप शोभा मैम को दे दीजिएगा. I can make a PPT or a Google Doc. She can share it with you. आप इकट्ठे भी questions मुझे बाद में send कर सकते हैं.
Okay,
तो कोई problem नहीं है.
Okay, you can.
Okay. So let me complete this first, and then maybe I can put certain things, and then we can discuss this. Okay. So जैसे मैं OB model की बात कर रही थी, we have 5 types. This is autocratic, custodial, supportive, collegial, and system. Now, what is an autocratic model? So I'm sharing one of the experience with you. I worked with a startup company, and what happened with me is that I worked as a project manager, and above me there was only director. It was a very small company with few people only, like around 50-60 people. The worst thing I found there is that there was micromanagement, and I was asked to do micromanagement of the people. So this is something which impacts an organization environment very badly. अगर एम्प्लॉइज पे माइक्रो मैनेजमेंट किया जाता है तो it impacts whole environment of the company, and definitely people won't like it, wherein a team leader has to share each and every minute details of the employee to the manager, like एक घंटे के लिए वो कहाँ गया, अगर lunch में कितना time spend किया, and what they spend in the breakfast. So this is the failed model. As if you talk about organizational behavior, this is the one of the most failed behavior, because you cannot ask them like how much time you spent on the breakfast, how much time you spent on the tea, how much time you spent on the snacks. This is also the model certain small scale industries or companies follow, but there they fail. That's the reason there is no growth there. Then second thing is the custodial model. Custodial model is like we have definitely so many employees in the team, in the office, and if we provide them what are the special wages, what are the other benefits to the employees, like if you're working for overtime, so if my company is paying you overtime money, so or if you're working at night shift, so are they providing you on time cab facility for dropping and picking up facilities, or they are providing you snacks on the weekend if you are coming to the weekend for office work. So are the office people responsible for your tea or for the snacks, because cafeteria is almost closed on weekends? So what will you do? You are coming for the project, so This is something that extra facility we are providing to the employees of the company. So this is the custodial model. Then third model is the supportive model. As the name suggests, supportive is that it is in between the autocratic and the uh, custodial. I mean, my company is well good CMMI level 5 company, and it is providing good wages to the employees. It is providing good facilities to the employees, and there is no micromanagement. I mean, as a resource, there is a communication between the management and the employee. I mean, I will not have any mediator to communicate to my manager. If I feel certain thing is not good, so meeting, or personally I can send an email to manager. It's not necessary that you have to put team lead in it. If something is very personal and you are not liking and you think that something biased is happening in the team, you can definitely send a direct email to the manager, कीपिंग योर वर्ड सो नाइसली. मतलब गुस्से में नहीं लिखना है आपको, अपने वर्ड्स को काफी अच्छे से लिख के एक्सप्रेस करना है कि सर दिस इज द प्रॉब्लम हैपनिंग विथ मी और दिस पर्सन इज क्रिएटिंग सच प्रॉब्लम. तो उससे क्या होता है, देयर इज अ रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन अ मैनेजर एंड द employees developed. Or in the meeting, if you find kahin pe koi loophole hai, if there is a loophole in the project, if there is a loophole in the requirement, if you find that this requirement is very very big and we cannot do in such a short span of time. See, when you're developing a project, you all know, might be knowing, you are MCA student, you know what is an SDLC, right? So right from the requirement gathering till the implementation, or till your project goes go live और launch हो जाए पूरी दुनिया के लिए, third user के लिए, there are many ups and downs and you know so many things come in between. बहुत सारा brainstorming होता है, बहुत कुछ होता है उस बीच में. Sometimes client says you complete this project फटाफट, I need in 3 months of time, but it might happen that the business won't think. Business is not logical. If a foreign client comes, he will or she will just put it on you. These are the 6 requirements and this is the time span. It's just simple and you have to just analyze and do it. No, it's not like that. My BA or my SME and all the senior managers and the developer or the tester will sit together, and the architect of the team, like, we will point all the things, all the estimation techniques, all the coverage, all the analysis, boundary value analysis, this and that analysis, use cases. These are all terms which are used in development and testing. So you have to use all these techniques and then you will come to the point whether it is, yeah, we can complete it in 3 months of time or not. So many glitches come. And if you find that if any point of time, if being a responsible resource or the employee of the company, it is actually very good if we can beforehand, if you say the risk of the project, or if you highlight the risk to the manager, and thereby manager will highlight to the on-site team telling that, boss, this is the risk, we cannot complete this portion or this particular thing in this span of time, it will be taken as a positive thing. So this is something really good. So there will be a support of the manager, there will be support of the employee also, and you will also feel enthusiasm to take things ahead. Now collegial is like collegial is also something like that. If you might have known about the agile methodologies, nowadays the projects are based on agile models. There are no more waterfall models, V model, somewhere it is practiced, no more RAD or protocol models. So we have this agile methodology where we have a scrum master or an agile coach. Actually there is a coach. Coach means a mentor. एक mentor रहेगा, एक scrum